in the media conference with Lal Goyal, which is brought to you by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, News Gaon Se, Samvad Sarokar News, Organ Donation India Foundation and Gyan. Our endeavor is to enlighten you with the current topic. And today, as you all know, the 4 states and 1 union territories counting is on and the results are awaited. Now, to discuss the today's topic, that is the state election 2021 result analysis, we have a panelist, and I will be introducing you the panelists. But before that, I would like to just mention that every election is determined by the people who shows up. Now, today, what we are going to do is that I will first introduce all the panelists, and then I will be asking the questions to them. I will be giving the flashes, the results, the trend which is coming. I will be telling that these are the trends. And like I will be giving you the trend now, as of now, is that in West Bengal, out of 294 seats, 277 leads are available, out of which TMC alliance is leading for 147, BJP is leading 123, left plus Congress is leading at 5, and others are 2. Awaited now results are 17. The halfway mark is 148, and according to that now trend is now the latest trend which has changed right now, the TMC is leading for 153. It means they have crossed the halfway mark in West Bengal. BJP is leading at 118, left is 5, and others are 2. Now we move to the Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu, the total seats are 234. Out of 234, the leads which are available as of now is of 224. The target is 118. DMK has already crossed the halfway mark, that is 124. The DMK plus Congress and others. And ADMK plus BJP is 97. And MMK plus is 1. ANMK plus is 1. Others are 1. And we move to the Kerala. The Kerala is 140 seats. Out of 140, all 140 leads are available. The target is 75. The LDF, that is the Left Party Alliance, is leading in 85. It means they have already crossed the halfway mark. And Congress and Alliance is leading only on 51. BJP is leading only on 1 seat, and others are on 3 seats. And now we move to the next, that is Assam. Total seats are 126. Out of 126, we have 117 leads available. The target, that halfway mark, is 64. BJP has already crossed the target at the halfway mark, that is 79 they are leading. Congress is leading only on 36. AGP is not leading in any one of the seats, and others are on 2. And the next is Puducherry. The total number of seats are 30, out of which we have the leads position of 17. Target is 16. NRC plus, that is this BJP, they are leading in 12. And the Congress plus is leading only on 4. ANMK plus is not leading in any of the seats, and others at 1. So this is the position as of 10:34 today. Now we have very elite, those who are in this field for long, the panelists with us. I would like to introduce all the panelists all together, and then I will be putting a question. I will be flashing the news as soon as I will receive, and they will be giving their answer, and then again I will be flashing. I'd like to introduce my first guest. He is Professor Dr. Sudhir Saran. Professor Dr. Sudhir Saran is the former visiting professor IIM Lucknow and University of Texas at Dallas, USA. He is the director of Aldo Private Limited, New Delhi. He has done his MBA from IIM Ahmedabad in 1980. He did PhD in 1986. He started teaching and researching business and entrepreneurship since 1984. He published research papers in reputed journals, international seminars, proceedings, and chapters in books of readings. He started academic administration phase as Dean in 1997, rising to Executive Director, Controlling Management and Engineering Institutes in 2007. Her Highness Governor of Karnataka nominated Dr. Sharan to the Senate of Bangalore University in recognition of his distinguished academic contribution. He was visiting professor to University of Texas at Dallas from 2012 to 2019. He also visited Washington State University and President University Indonesia on the invitation of the Dean Faculty of Business in 2018. He innovated and implemented a unique model to double the turnover with existing infrastructure in one accounting year. He is co-promoter of Institute of Family Business Management Society. He is honorary director of NCR Delhi-based high-tech B2B digital startup. He is also co-founder of OWGI Foundation, which promotes social entrepreneurship ventures. Welcome, Dr. Sudhir Saran on our show. Now I would like to introduce my next guest, and he is Kunwar Narendra Singh. Kunwar Narendra Singh is the national chief patron of Akhil Bharatiya Kshatriya Mahasabha. He is the vice president, Rashtriya Lokdal UP. Kunwar Narendra Singh is the director of Nayati Pharma Private Limited. He is a renowned social worker and political leader at Mathura. He belongs to erstwhile royal family of Dungarpur and Awargarh. He fought MP election against Miss Hema Malini from Mathura parliamentary constituency. Although he lost the election, but he got approximately 4 lakh votes. Nowadays, he is de facto MP of Mathura, as Miss Hema Malini has not visited Mathura for last few months. During lockdown, he has distributed food and essential items to migrants and other needy and poor persons. And my last but not the least, the guest of today, panelist, is Mr. Pradeep Mathur, BSc Honors LLB. Mr. Mathur is the former leader of Congress Legislature Party in UP Assembly at Lucknow. He was elected MLA from Mathura Vrindavan constituency for 4 terms. For 20 years, he was the MLA in 1985 to 1990, 2002 to 2007, 2007 to 2012, and 2012 to 2017. He was the chairman of Public Account Committee. He was the vice president and general secretary of Uttar Pradesh Congress Committee. He received Governor's Award as Best Social Worker of UP in settling down a family of poor Brahmin widow. He organized many blood camps, pension for handicaps and widows, and provided artificial limbs for handicaps. On his behest, approximately rupees 3,000 crore projects of development work sanctioned and executed for Mathura Vrindavan. He was instrumental for getting CNG, PNG, and industrial gas pipeline installed in Mathura. Welcome, Mr. Pradeep Mathur. Welcome, Kunwar Narendra Singh, and welcome, Professor Dr. Sudhir Saran on our show. Before I will ask question, I would like to just tell you what the exit poll have said to us. And that exit poll of different, like ABP C voter has given their figures, and the figures were for West Bengal. They says 152, 164 to TMC, BJP 109 to 121, and left 14 to 25. Republic said TMC only 128 to 138, BJP 138 to 148, and left 11 to 21. Times Now C voter 158 to TMC, BJP 115, left 19. Republic Jan Ki Baat 104 to 121 to TMC, BJP 162 to 185, and left 3 to 9. P Mark 152 172 TMC, BJP 112 to 132, and left 10 to 15. ETG Research 164 to 176 TMC, 105 and 115 BJP, 10 to 15 left. India Today Axis My India says 130 to 156 TMC, 134 to 160 BJP, and 0 to 2 left, plus Congress. India TV PP, TMC 64 to 88, BJP 173 to 192, and left 7 to 12. India News JKB, TMC 104 to 121, BJP 162 to 185, left 3 to 9. And poll start says 140 to 152, TMC, BJP 125 to 135, and 16 to 26 left. I have the figures of others, but before I will go and ask some question, I would like to flash the news, the latest position of all the all the constituencies, and they are West Bengal. Right now, the West Bengal is, one moment please, because the news is flashing very fast. The West Bengal total seats are 296, leads available is 286. TMC is already leading in 155. At the halfway mark is 144, 148. So they are already up by 7 seats. BJP is leading in 125. Left plus Congress is leading on 4. Others 2. Can change any time. So we have to wait till the last. But now, because these results have, the leads are already there, indications are there. My question goes to Professor Dr. Sudhir Saran. Professor Dr. Sudhir Saran, do you think elections were necessary during this COVID pandemic, which we are suffering? So many people are dying, 4 lakhs people are getting positive as per the government data, and about more than 3,500 people are losing their life. Again, I am saying as per the official government data. I cannot vouch for the validity or the truthness in this data. I want to know whether the elections were necessary to do this type of, in this pandemic, when lakhs and lakhs people attended the rallies of our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, and the Honorable Chief Minister, Ms. Mamata Banerjee, as well as the Honorable Rahul Gandhi of Congress and other leaders. What you say, Professor Dr. Sudhir Saran?
Mr. Lal Goyal, my single clear answer is no, not at all. Nothing is more important than a human life. And therefore, this should have been handled more prudently, more carefully, more empathetically, and more prudently, because politically it is going to cost a lot to the people who decided to run these elections. This was a very bad decision, not necessary at all.
Okay, thank you very much. Before I will go to Kumar Naren Singh, I just want to inform now the lead of TMC in West Bengal is on 160 seats. The BJP is leading only on 125. Left is only, left plus Congress is only leading 3 and others 2. Now my same question goes to you, Kumar Naren Singh. Do you think elections were necessary during this COVID time? क्या हमारे लिए इलेक्शन जरूरी है या हमारे लिए जिंदा रहना जरूरी है? कुंवर नरेंद्र सिंह जी.
Welcome, Lal. I appreciate your efforts about the COVID patients and the elections of which is going in the country now in 5 states. I would like to tell you, I tweet Pradhan Mantri ji before Bihar election. You should not conduct these elections till 2024. कोई जरूरत नहीं थी इन इलेक्शनों की. जब आप कह रहे हैं कि एक साथ पूरा चुनाव, एक इलेक्शन, वन नेशन, इंदिरा जी के टाइम में हुआ है, वो तो बीच में सरकारें गिरती रही इसलिए थोड़ा सा डिस्टर्ब हो गया. नहीं तो पहले आपको ध्यान होगा हर 5 साल में फरवरी में चुनाव हुआ करते थे. उस वक्त किसान भी खाली रहता था, पब्लिक भी फ्री रहती थी, मौसम भी अच्छा होता था, तो फरवरी में चुनाव होता था. लेकिन अब इन्होंने सिर्फ सत्ता के लालच में, सत्ता के लोभ में कि हम कैसे पूरे देश में अपना साम्राज्य स्थापित करें, उसके लिए इनके प्रयास चलते रहते हैं. इनको देश की इकोनॉमी से कोई मतलब नहीं, इनको देश के विकास से कोई मतलब नहीं, इनको देश की हेल्थ रीजन से कोई मतलब नहीं. इनको तो बस ये है कि कैसे ज्यादा से ज्यादा प्रांतों में हम अपनी सरकार करें. इनका जो हिटिंग एजेंडा है लाल भाई, ये मैं आपको बता दूं कि ये प्रेसिडेंशियल फोरम चाहते हैं इन दिस कंट्री. जैसे पुतिन ने कर रखा है, साउथ कोरिया ने कर रखा है, चीन ने कर रखा है. ये भी चाहते हैं कि जब तक हम जिंदा रहें तब तक हम सत्ता में बने रहें. तो ये परिवर्तन के लिए इनका ये प्रयास चल रहा है. हालांकि गॉड इज ग्रेट. हालांकि आप जाने कौन सा चैनल देख रहे हो, मैं एबीपी देख रहा हूँ. टीएमसी इज 194 लीडिंग और बीजेपी 93 प्लस और कांग्रेस इज 5.
चलिए
सुनो, लेकिन ये मैं बात अपनी पूरी कर दूं. लेकिन ये चुनाव अभी नहीं कराने की कोई जरूरत नहीं. आप और स्टेटों को छोड़िए, हमारे यहाँ पंचायतों का चुनाव करा रहे.
यूपी में
क्या जरूरत थी इस चुनाव की? या कोरोना पूरी तरह से फैल रहा है? रोज गवर्नमेंट ने स्ट्रिक्ट ऑर्डर प्रेस वालों को दे रखे कि आप बिना सीएमओ के सर्टिफिकेट के आप डेड बॉडीज को नहीं दिखाएंगे कितने मरे। अभी 5 दिन पहले 43 लोगों की मृत्यु हुई और इन्होंने दिखाया 4। तो ये जनता से
कुंवर साहब, हम उस पर आएंगे दोबारा उसी प्रश्न पे, पर नाउ व्हाट प्रोफेसर सुधीर Saran as well as Kunwar Naren Singh has mentioned very clearly that the election are not supposed to be conducted during this pandemic time. Now I will move, before I will go to my next panelist, I just want to give the figures what I have of Tamil Nadu right now. I'm giving of Tamil Nadu. Out of 234 seats, all the leads of 234 seats are available. Target is 118, and the DMK plus Congress is leading on 139 seats. That is above the halfway mark. Majority, and the ADMK is leading on, ADMK plus BJP is leading on 93. AMMK plus 1, AMMK plus 1. So this is the situation. Now my same question to you, Mr. Pradeep Mathur, whether we should, do you think elections were necessary during this pandemic when so many people are dying and so much suffering?
Your question is very important. I said no. No election was required in whole of the country because these BJP guys are power hungry. And they do this election, they do the politics on dead bodies. They are not bothering for the common crowd, and they are the careless, ruthless people. I can directly hit the Prime Minister, who is very much calls him to be the man of principle. He is addressing rally in Bengal of 2 lakhs people, and on the contrary, he once he comes on the TV, address the people of the nation for pandemic, he is putting mask. So their ideologies are different. They are absolutely reluctant people who are, again I will say, they are hungry for the power. Kunwar Naren Singh has rightly said that they want to come into the presidential form of government and they want to capture power by hook or by crook. That's why we are condemning in this pandemic that this kind of election theory should be discarded, and even the elections which have taken place in UP, this is also to be widely condemned because 500 teachers have given their life in this particular Panchayat Raj election. 500 teachers have lost their life. Then the Chief Minister of UP has nothing to do with it. They are crazy for the elections, and people are losing their life, but they are not bothering. And I can again say that this is the biggest fault of these BJP people and the Election Commission, and BJP has to suffer out of it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Pradeep Mathur. So Mr. Pradeep Mathur has also said that this is not the right time to conduct the elections. Now, about Assam, I can give the figures. I have the leads of 121 seats out of 126. The target is 64, that are halfway mark. BJP has already comfortably crossed the halfway mark, and that is 82. Congress is only 37. Others are 2. Now, my question goes to Professor Saran. Professor Saran, do you think Election Commission failed to perform its duty? This is the failureness of the Election Commission, that they have conducted, firstly, they have decided to declare and conducted the election. And once they found that the election, the pandemic is, the COVID is returning heavily, without recognizing it, what they have done is that they have not acceding, or they have not accepted the request of the Chief Minister of West Bengal, Ms. Mamata Banerjee, where she has categorically asked that all the phases can be done at one time, the remaining 4 phases or 5 phases rather, but Election Commission has refused to accept her views. Professor Saran, do you think Election Commission failed to perform its duty?
There is absolutely no doubt that it was a grave failure on the part of the Election Commission. And I'm not the one who is saying it alone. The courts have reprimanded, scolded the election commission like never before happened in the history of our country. They have said that they are responsible for the lives lost, and they are very correct on this one. Election commission by Constitution of India is supposed to be a totally apolitical, independent entity, and I'm sorry to say that is dead now. Like
Okay.
CBI, Election Commission today is a completely caged parrot which does not know anything about impartiality and dignity of elections in our country per our constitution. I'm very sorry to say it was a grave
Oh.
failure.
Okay, thank you, Professor Saran. When the chief election commissioner, the former chief election commissioner, after the retirement within a week, can be appointed as the governor of Goa, one can very well imagine how the election commission can work impartially. This is totally morally wrong, if not legally. Now, again, going to Kunwar Narendra Singh, I will just again give a flash of West Bengal. Now I have the lead available of 293 out of 294 seats. The halfway mark is 148. TMC is leading 159 seats. That is about 11 seats more than the halfway mark. BJP is on 128. Left plus Congress is only 3. Others are 2. So we are getting the results very fast. Now my question goes to Kunwar Narendra Singh. Kunwar Narendra Singh, this question which I am asking you is sent by Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma, from Mathura. He wanted to know whether election commission was under some pressure for 8 phases of election in West Bengal. You mentioned about one nation, one election. Now, one nation, one election means the entire country has to go at one time. It means if we can conduct in a small state, because West Bengal is not as big as UP and other states. If we are conducting in 8 phases, if they are going to go for one nation, one election, it means 1 year is required for the elections only. What you say about this, Kunwar Narendra Singh?
देखिए लाल भाई, इसमें स्क्रिप्ट लिखी आती है पीएमओ ऑफिस से, और कुछ जो संस्थाएं हैं जैसे आईबी है, सीबीआई है, जुडिशरी है, चुनाव इलेक्शन कमीशन है, और भी जो भी इंपॉर्टेंट संस्थाएं हमारी देश की, वो सब दे आर ऑल गवर्न्ड बाय पीएम। तो स्क्रिप्ट वहां से लिख के जाती है और ये तो सिर्फ बोलते हैं। तमिलनाडु हाई कोर्ट ने, उनकी आंखें फूट गई थी क्या? मैं इसमें क्वेश्चन मार्क जुडिशरी पे भी लगा रहा हूं। क्या जरूरत अब आप आके कह रहे हैं कि उनके खिलाफ एफआईआर करनी चाहिए चुनाव इलेक्शन कमीशन के? पहले कहां सो रहे थे भाई? पहले कैसे 8वें बाद में ही रियलाइज कि आई मेड अ मिस्टेक। क्यों कराई? जानबूझ के कराया गया कि पीएम को इतनी रैलियां करनी है, वो तो सेटअप सब वहीं से था। अब आप यूपी के कहिए पंचायतों के चुनाव में हाई कोर्ट रिजिडली सेड, बीजेपी नहीं चाहता था, बीजेपी को मालूम था कि हम हार रहे हैं पंचायत के चुनाव इस किसान आंदोलन की वजह से, इसलिए वो नहीं चाहते थे चुनाव हो, लेकिन हाई कोर्ट का डंडा इनके ऊपर था, इसलिए इनको चुनाव मजबूरी में कराना पड़ा। तो ये जो है, ये स्क्रिप्ट सब वहीं से लिखी जाती है। ये तो पपेट्स है, दे आर ऑल पपेट्स, इनके हाथ में कुछ नहीं है। ये तो जो मालिक कहता है जितनी चाबी भरे उतना नाचे पुतला, वो वाली बात है। तो इसलिए इन लोगों के हाथ में कुछ नहीं है, ये तो वहीं से लिखते हैं और अपनी कन्वीनियंस से करते हैं। इन्होंने इन संस्थाओं को, लोकतंत्र की जो सबसे मुख्य प्रणाली थी मीडिया, आज मीडिया कैप्चर है। आज मीडिया देखिए क्या भाटगिरी कर रहा है, कहीं कुछ बोलने को तैयार नहीं है, सुनने को तैयार नहीं। पैनलिस्ट को बुला लेते हैं, वो अपनी व्यूज रखते हैं, तो उसमें भी एंकर इंटरवीन करता है। तो आज सबसे बड़ा जो चौथा स्तंभ है लोकतंत्र का, आज वो संशय के घेरे में है। आज रवीश कुमार को, मैं तो देहातों में जाता हूँ लाल भाई,
कुंवर नरेंद्र सिंह जी
गाँव में जानने लग गए लोग बिकॉज ऑफ देयर नेगेटिविटी।
ओके कुंवर नरेंद्र सिंह जी, हम उस पे भी आएंगे, मीडिया पे भी आएंगे। Thank you very much. And what Ms. Kunwar Narendra Singh says that the script is written by at PMO, and all the things which are all these institutions, even he put an allegation on the judiciary IB, CBI, Election Commission, that they are all acting on behest of the PMO. Okay, thank you very much, Kunwar Narendra Singh, for giving such a frank answer. Now my question goes to Mr. Pradeep Mathur. This question is again been asked by our advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma from Mathura. He says, why Election Commission did not pass the COVID-related guidelines of election release? If they have passed that guidelines, why they have not enforced properly? Why the strict action was not taken against all those who have conducted the election rallies? Mr. Pradeep Mathur, please.
Sorry to say, these election commission, there are many more other organizations are under the control of the central government, and they are governed by the PMO. The country is going towards dictatorial attitude, and they are directing these independent institutions to act as per their direction. The point is, the election commission is puppet in the hand of the Prime Minister and the Home Minister, and they are doing what they are saying. The point is they cannot do and act independently because BJP is wanting to control the country in a Tanashahi way, and the whole of the country is suffering out of it. In West Bengal, they have taken the election in 8 phases. There was no need of it, but because they were feeling that it is difficult to got Madam Mamata Banerjee lost, they did like this and tried to pressurize the sitting government to lose badly. But unfortunately, their dream has not come true. Whatever is happening, we are seeing on TV. Likewise, they have done the elections in UP. They are not bothered at all. These election commissions are not bothered for this corona pandemic, and let the people die. They are doing as per the direction of the Prime Minister.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Pradeep Mathur. When everyone is talking about pandemic, why we are creating so hype? Because I will give the figures right now. COVID returns yesterday, that is 1st May 2021. India registered 3,92,562 new cases of coronavirus, which has taken the country's cumulative tally past 1,95,49,000 cases. And please mind it, yesterday was a holiday because of the May Day, Labor Day. And many places, even they are celebrating their, like in Maharashtra, it was a Maharashtra Day. So in spite of that, because day before yesterday, it has crossed 4 lakhs, but because of the holiday yesterday, it was below 4 lakhs. But we should not take it that it is below 4 lakhs because it was a holiday. Yesterday, 3,688 people lost their life. Thus, total death due to corona raised to 2,15,523. I don't know whether these figures are correct or not. These are all figures provided by the government, but everybody knows that, as Kunwar Narendra Singh mentioned, that so many people have died, were dying. But the figures, we cannot go out with that figure. We have to give the figures which are officially coming out. So these are the figures. But even one death is very sad. Just imagine 3,688 people lost their life yesterday. According to health officials, India has administered 15 crores 49 lakhs 89,635 vaccines doses across the country as of yesterday, that is 1st May 2021. Before one day, that is up to 30th May, they have put 15 crores 22 lakhs 45,179. Thus, only approximately 25 lakhs people were vaccinated in one day, which is peanut, because where we have to give the vaccination to, even if we can calculate 70% of the population 2 doses, to about 200 crore doses we require, and we have touched only 15 crores 50 lakhs. So one can imagine, again we have to require the doses from 1st of January, the 200 crores. Before I will go to Professor Saran, I would like to give the latest figure of West Bengal. And the West Bengal figure says now, again, 293 seats out of 294. And that is TMC leading 166 and BJP 121 and left and Congress 3 and others 2. Now, my question to you is, Mr. Dr. Professor Dr. Sudhir Saran, is, again, this question has been asked by Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma from Mathura. How far the allegation of Mamata Banerjee is correct that Election Commission is playing in the hands of BJP?
I think the accusation has substance behind it. The behavior which we have seen justifies the allegation that the commission is no more an organization which is working for you, me, and citizen of India, which is what its honorable role and job is. Now it is working for political masters, and it is very tragic, very tragic. We must do something at citizen level to protest,
Okay, thank you very much. Now I have the figure of Tamil Nadu, which is, according to this figure, all the 234 seats leads are available. And it says that DMK is leading on 139 seats, which is ahead of 118 seats half mark. And ADMK and BJP is leading only on 93. And minded, DMK is in alliance with Congress in Tamil Nadu. And the MNKM is 1 and ANMK is on 1. Now my question goes to Ms. Kunwar Naren Singh. कुंवर नरेंद्र सिंह, आज वेस्ट बंगाल में देखने को मिला कि एक राष्ट्रीय पार्टी एक रीजनल पार्टी से भिड़ रही है। अभी तक क्या होता था, मेन तमिलनाडु में है कि वहां रीजनल पार्टीज लड़ती हैं, AIDMK, DMK। आज से पहले भी वहां पर अगर हम देखें लेफ्ट, हालांकि नेशनल पार्टी है लेकिन उसकी स्टैंडिंग मेनली वेस्ट बंगाल में थी, तो वेस्ट बंगाल में वो लड़ती थी और अब लास्ट टाइम TMC थी। अब के बीजेपी ने एक अपना प्रेस्टीज इश्यू बनाया जिसमें ऑनरेबल प्रधानमंत्री श्री मोदी जी और ऑनरेबल गृह मंत्री श्री अमित शाह जी और पूरा पेरिफेरिया, जहां तक आपके मुख्यमंत्री श्री योगी जी भी हैं, उन्होंने पूरा जोर लगा दिया वेस्ट बंगाल में, अपनी साख दांव पे लगा दी। क्या ये एक अच्छा उदाहरण है कि आप एक स्टेट की गवर्नमेंट के लिए कितने लीडर्स वहां आपने भेज दिए, पूरा गवर्नमेंट पैरालिसिस हो गई, पूरा गवर्नमेंट ने कोई काम नहीं किया, जिसकी वजह से लोगों का कहना है कि जो ये पेंडेमिक बड़ा है वो एक्यूज करते हैं कि इस वजह से हुआ कि एक वेस्ट बंगाल में एक लेडी को, एक वुमेन को और एक विमेन चीफ मिनिस्टर को हराने के लिए पूरी गवर्नमेंट एजेंसीज लग गई। आप इस बारे में क्या कहना चाहेंगे कुंवर नरेंद्र सिंह?
देखिए, गवर्नमेंट की नीयत तो शुरू से ही खराब थी। गवर्नमेंट ये नहीं चाहती थी किसी भी तरह से कि बंगाल में ममता जी वापस लौटे। इसलिए मुझे ध्यान है, इंदिरा जी जब थी प्राइम मिनिस्टर, तो उस वक्त बाई इलेक्शंस में और ये छोटी स्टेटों के चुनाव होते, प्राइम मिनिस्टर जाता भी नहीं था। सीनियर लीडर्स जाके कास्ट इक्वेशन के हिसाब से वहां जाके करते थे। इनके पास कोई और लीडर ही नहीं है, बातों से पेट भर रहे हैं। मोदी जी जाके बातों के लक्ष्य फेंकते, उससे प्रमोट करते। और रैलियों में भी जो आप कह रहे हैं 2-2 लाख 1-1 लाख आदमी था, वो बंगाल का नहीं था, वो बाहर से इंपोर्ट करते थे ये लोग, और भीड़ को इकट्ठा करते थे ये दिखाने के लिए कि इतने हजार आदमी आ गया, इतने लाख आदमी आ गया। वहां का लोकल आदमी कभी नहीं चाहता था कि ममता जी हटे। मैं गया हूँ कलकत्ता भी पिछले साल, वहां पर मैंने कोविड से पहले, तो वहां मैंने पूछा था एक टैक्सी ड्राइवर, बोला साहब दीदी हमारे गरीबों के लिए काम करती है। वहां बड़ी बड़ी मल्टी स्टोरी बिल्डिंग्स हैं, मॉल्स हैं, उनके सामने खोखे वाले बैठे हुए, कोई मछली बेच रहा है, कोई पकौड़े बेच रहा है, कोई समोसे बेच रहा है, और वो उनको टच नहीं कर सकते। तो एक मासेस जो है वहां। अच्छा, सबसे बड़ी बात इसमें एक इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर आपने नोटिस नहीं किया, AIDMK सॉरी ओबीसी वाला AIMA, इसको वहां के मुसलमानों ने रिजेक्ट कर दिया, क्योंकि पिछली बार बीजेपी से पैसा लेके इसने वहां पर चुनाव लड़ा बिहार में, और ये तेजस्वी को मुख्यमंत्री बनने से इन्होंने नहीं रोका। 5 तो सीट जीत गए, 20 सीटों पे इफेक्ट डाल गए, मुसलमान बहक गया। तो मुसलमान समझ गया कि बी टीम है बीजेपी की, उन्होंने इस बार उनसे मना कर दी कि बंगाल में आने की जरूरत नहीं, यहाँ ना कोई हिंदू है ना मुसलमान है, वी आर ऑल बंगालीज। तो वो लोग सब बंगाल के हैं, ओके, बंगाल की धरती पर रह रहे हैं, वहीं जी रहे हैं, बेंगोल, वहां बांग्लादेश ही अगर 40 लाख तो इसलिए वहां की सिचुएशन बिल्कुल डिफरेंट थी। तो गवर्नमेंट को इसमें प्रतिष्ठा नहीं बनानी चाहिए। अगर किसी स्टेट में कोई जीत गया, ममता जीत गई, जमीन से जुड़ी औरत है, मुझे ध्यान है नंदीगांव का आंदोलन टाटा की जब आरती का वो लग रहा था, तो इन्होंने ही किया था। कौन था वहां? अब कहां थे मोदी जी, कहां थी बीजेपी? तो आज इस बात को इशू बना रहे हैं ये लोग, स्टेटों में जा जाके बातें कर करके, एनआरसी और सीसीए, ये सब जो फैक्टर्स इन्होंने डेवलप किए, ये इन्हीं बंगाल और आसाम चुनाव के लिए किए थे, और किसी के लिए नहीं थे। जो कह रहे थे ना पूरे देश में लागू नहीं करेंगे, ये इनका मोटिव और बिहाइंड एजेंडा यही था। इसलिए गवर्नमेंट ये चाहती नहीं है कि, देखिए फ्रेंचाइज, लोकतंत्र में निष्पक्ष मतदान होना चाहिए, विदाउट एनी प्रेशर, विदाउट एनी लोभ। आप पैसा दे रहे हो, कन्याधन दे रहे हो, और उज्ज्वला योजना दे रहे हो, लेडीज को प्रमोट कर रहे हो, लेडीज को अट्रैक्ट कर रहे हो, बेटी बचाओ, क्या बेटी बचाओ, क्या यूपी के चीफ मिनिस्टर वहां घूम रहे हैं, यूपी की चिंता नहीं थी उन्हें? या बेटियों के संग बलात्कार हो रहा है, बेटियों की हत्या हो रही है।
Singh ji, we will come on this topic again. So what Kumar Narayan Singh says, yes, it is very unfortunate that the Prime Minister or the senior Prime Minister is going for a state elections and doing so many rallies, and definitely it has impacted the working of the central government. Thank you very much, Kumar Narayan Singh. Now I will go to Mr. Pradeep Mathur. Before that, I would like to give figure of Kerala. All the 140 seats leads are available. Halfway mark is 71. LDF, that is the left party, is leading on 87, and Congress is already only leading on 48. BJP is leading on 4, others are 1. My question to you, Mr. Pradeep Mathur, is Kerala was traditionally the way Kerala always react that every 5 years there used to be a change. One time LDF, other time UDF. This is the first time that this Kerala has shown that they have repeated LDF. Although the chief minister, I cannot say what is truth or not, but the central government tried all their agencies to prove that the chief minister of Kerala is corrupt, and they wanted to frame him in that gold smuggling case. Plus, the main point, which is very important, is the Sabrimala issue. The Sabrimala temple, where the women of those who are menstruating, they cannot enter from the age of say 12 to 50, they are not allowed to enter the temple. And BJP as well as Congress made an issue. And one side they says equality. One side BJP has mentioned about the Teen Talaq thing, where they say, no, we want to give the main thing to the women. But here they wanted to take the advantage of the sentiments of Hindus. But in spite of that, as per the leads available, in the Kerala, the left party LDF is leading comfortably. Do you think that this is because? Do you think this is because the people are not interested in Hindu-based politics in Kerala? And mind it, Kerala is the most literate state in India. What you say, Mr. Pradeep Mathur?
Actually, the role of BJP always remain prejudice. They say what they are saying is correct. Anybody who is correct, if is going to the BJP, he becomes a holy man. They try to put the charges, that gold case charges on the chief minister of LDF, and that was the old case. But the prudent public of Kerala have turned it down. And simultaneously, as you have rightly said, that Kerala is the most literate state. Sabrimala issue is also being turned down by the public of Kerala because they are not wanting this Hindu kind of a politics in Kerala. Because ours is a secular country and we believe in Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, apas mein hai bhai bhai. So this kind of a thought is in
but
Kerala.
Sorry, Mr. Pradeep Mathur. Sorry, Mr. Pradeep Mathur. You are from Congress and Congress also supported this. Why Congress has done this? Congress was always secular party. Why they have done it?
Maybe it may be a local issue factor that they are bound to support it. But it is my personal view. It is my personal view that this kind of a things, because I am also fighting from these, I can use the word, the most dangerous people of the country. I am also fighting them. And Mathura is also a hot seat for the BJP. I know how they try to convert things into a game of tactics and the problems. So it can be a possibility that the matter of chance that Congress would have supported this particular move.
Okay. Okay. So Congress has supported, according to you, because of the local compulsions. But the local compulsion should not be that it's changed the ideology of the old
That
grand
I have
party, that
rightly
is the
said
Congress.
you, that it is the state of the literate people. And literate people are not bothered for these issues. And they have absolutely discarded the BJP, which was wanting to establish itself in Kerala.
Okay. Thank you. Professor Saran, in Assam, now I will give the figure what I have right now, because different channels are showing different figures. I am not going in that. I am just going with one channel right now. Assam, out of 126, all 126 leads are available. Halfway mark is 64, but BJP is leading on 83 and Congress on 42 and others are 1. Now, my question to you is, there is an allegation by people that the vaccines were given to those countries to give the benefit in the election which were donated, like Myanmar and Bhutan were giving vaccines to get the benefit in Assam. Sri Lanka were giving the vaccines free of charge to get the benefit in Tamil Nadu. Bangladesh, the vaccines were giving free of charge to get the benefit in West Bengal. Do you think these charges are correct or not? Number one. Number two, Assam was very, it was boiling before the elections about the CA and NRC issue. Do you think now they accepted that whatsoever the policies, because now they have given the mandate to BJP, it means they are accepting, for which they were agitating so much. Professor Sudhir Saran, please.
This is a very complex question.
That's why I am asking non-political professor this question.
The calculus for the vaccine is based on evidence, very clearly politically motivated. There is not humanitarian angle to this one at all. There is only political advantage in mind, and that is there. Coming to people changing their mind from the agitation issues to support the party they were agitating against, I think it is more the work of local opinion leaders who have prevailed. In election, what happens is, as one of our respected panelists was saying, it was a question of franchise, and franchise should be free from any other consideration than the benefit of that location. That has definitely been shadowed. The second thing is, what is happening is in West Bengal is also casting its shadow on Assam. Assam is not totally untouched by what was happening. And as you noted yourself, it is so pathetic that a national party with its full force has unleashed in West Bengal a campaign which has destroyed entire sanctity of state elections. So election commission is still more responsible for what is happening in Assam and West Bengal. I think पूरे कुएं में भांग मिला दी लोगों ने, क्या कहें कौन किसने पी है किसने नहीं पी है.
Rightly said.
That is my that is what my view is.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now my question to Kumar Naren Singh. कुमार नरेंद्र सिंह जी, अभी आप कुछ कह रहे थे, पहले आप बोल लीजिए क्या आप कह रहे थे कि
बाबुल सुप्रियो पीछे, इनके 4 लीडर्स पीछे.
Acha, acha. Now my question to you is, what will be the future of Mr. Prashant Kishore? प्रशांत किशोर ने कहा था कि 100 से ऊपर सीट बीजेपी को नहीं आएंगी। अभी जो ट्रेंड चल रहा है, हो सकता है आगे क्या हो, अभी 123 सीट्स पे बीजेपी आगे दिखा रहे हैं। तो प्रशांत किशोर ने कहा था कि अगर 100 से नीचे 100
I
से
think he
ऊपर
has
सीट
said rightly he has said they will remain under 100. I am sure somewhere between 70 to 80.
Okay, so Kumar Naren Singh, according to him, the BJP will not cross 100 marks in the final tally in the West Bengal. So we have to wait for that. Until that time, we have to wait, and we have no other option to wait, and we will see what will. Now, my question to Mr. Pradeep Mathur, to you. Your leader, Miss Priyanka Gandhi, campaigned very heavily in Assam. This is the first time out of UP she campaigned, although she came to Karnataka once Kerala for Wayanad constituency for Mr. Rahul Gandhi. But for any other state, she did the campaigning for the first time. What will be her future? Do you think that if the Assam is not giving the majority to Congress, it shows that the charisma which everyone is waiting, and everybody says that the Priyanka Gandhi enjoys that charisma of Indira Gandhi, is not there, or she was not being used properly by the Congress, or what was the lacuna in that Assam, we could not get that many seats, although the seats number have increased from the last time?
Question is that our leader Priyanka Gandhi ji is very charismatic, no doubt. And particularly in Hindi belt, she is being treated as a second Indira Gandhi. She did campaign in Assam vigorously, but not in a way that she has been given the command to do it. She has gone and addresses few meetings, but she was not the in charge of the state for organizing the election. And I can say that definitely there is an increase in the seats. I can say this all, whatever has come, it is all due to Priyanka Gandhi ji. Otherwise, the things would have been more deteriorated. But I can say that she is definitely a charismatic leader. In future, you will find that she'll be able to control the country. And I can call her to be the future Prime Minister of the country.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Professor Sudhir Saran, the smallest out of all these four states and the union territory is the Puducherry. There's only 30 seats. And as per the report which is coming is that only 17 leads are available. Why it is so? Is it that some manipulation is going to take place, or they are very slow, they are incompetent, the election commission people are working in Puducherry are lazy and incompetent? What you say, Mr. Sudhir Saran, about this, Professor?
Both of the things are true, Mr. Lal. Election Commission is, abdicating its responsibility towards you, me, and every citizen of the country. And the second thing is, we forget very fast the things which happened in latest country Lok Sabha election. The pictures were very different for the first 3 hours, and then suddenly the picture changed dramatically in favor of one national party. Before that, there was reporting that some electronic voting machines were found in places where they had no reason to be found from. There were couple of media people who presented facts and cast aspersions and demanded deep, impartial investigation. We as 130 crore Indians did not listen to the voice of reason at that point in time. And in the country at national level, if you make those grave mistakes, not protecting your citizen franchise, then there is no other entity, no other institution that will protect for you. In America, they are saying, the founding father said, we are giving you a republic if you can keep it. Our constitution writer said, we are giving a democracy where the franchise of individual will be paramount. If we don't protect it, then we are paying. Puducherry is the latest example that both the institution and the political parties have abdicated, abandoned the citizens. Bhagwan hi malik hai, baki to kya कहना. This
Okay,
is my
thank you.
response to the question.
थैंक यू वेरी मच प्रोफेसर सरन. कुंवर नरेंद्र सिंह जी, आप लोकदल में हैं और आपकी पार्टी पे भी एलिगेशन है, जैसा कांग्रेस पे बीजेपी वाले लगाते हैं कि आप क्या, आपने अनम्यूट करिए प्लीज, अनम्यूट, कि आपके यहाँ जो है वंशवाद है, मतलब नेपोटिज्म है, क्योंकि चौधरी चरण सिंह और फिर चौधरी अजीत सिंह और जयंत चौधरी जो आपके यहाँ पर बना है, वही नेहरू गांधी परिवार पे लगाया जाता है कांग्रेस में. लेकिन जो तमिलनाडु में देखने को मिल रहा है, तमिलनाडु में भी तो वंशवाद में ही अब स्टालिन आ रहे हैं, वो भी तो करुणानिधि जी के लड़के हैं. तो क्या आपको लगता है कि जो ये बीजेपी का मुहिम रहा इस इलेक्शन में अबाउट वंशवाद के खिलाफ या नेपोटिज्म में, वो कहीं पे उसकी भाप निकल गई, स्टीम लूज हो गई, और अब पब्लिक जो है काम देखना चाहती है, उसे इंटरेस्ट नहीं है कि आप किस वंश से हैं, किससे नहीं है, उन्हें दिख रहा है कि कौन काम करेगा. क्या कहना चाहते हैं आप इस बारे में?
देखिए, हमारी आरएलडी किसानों की पार्टी है, रूरल एरिया की पार्टी है, और चौधरी चरण सिंह जी जो किसानों के मसीहा कहलाते थे, ही वाज नॉट ओनली ए लीडर, ही वाज वन ऑफ द बेस्ट इकोनॉमिस्ट इन द वर्ल्ड. वो ऐसे इलिटरेट आदमी नहीं थे, तो वो किसानों की नस को, गरीबों की नस को, जब चीफ मिनिस्टर थे तो भेष बदल के पटवारियों के पास जाते थे रिश्वत देने, तो उन्होंने ग्राउंड लेवल पे काम किया. इनके लड़के अजीत सिंह तो इंजीनियर हैं, अमेरिका में नौकरी करते थे, सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर. उनका लड़का भी हार्वर्ड या विदेश में पढ़े हुए. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि वंशवाद की बात हो, वो तो एक लेगेसी है जो चली आ रही है. वो चूहे के बच्चे तो बिल्ली खो देंगे और क्या करेंगे, लेकिन एक पब्लिक फेथ की बात है. आप देखिए, मैं एक मिसाल दूं, टिकैत का जो ये चल रहा था, आंदोलन चल रहा है अभी भी, तो एक पॉइंट ऐसा आया था कि जब बिल्कुल खत्म होने पे आ गया, वो बीजेपी का एक नागर है एमएलए लोनी का, वो अपने 500-700 आदमियों को लेके, उन्हें गुंडा कहे या कुछ कहे, अटैक किया था, तो टिकैत रो गया. उस वक्त उस पर कोई चारा नहीं था, 300-400 आदमी रह गए थे, बाकी सब चले गए थे, भाग गए थे डर के मारे, पुलिस के लाठी के, गोली के, आंसू गैस के. तो क्या हुआ, उस वक्त अजीत सिंह ही थे जिन्होंने उसकी हिम्मत हौसला अफजाई की. टिकैत से कहा कि तू अकेला नहीं है, हम तब तेरे साथ है, राष्ट्रीय लोकदल तेरे साथ है, किसान तेरे साथ. और उसके बाद ही एकदम परिदृश्य बदल गया. सुबह 6 बजे उस दिन बड़ा भारी कोहरा था. आई स्पोक टू जैद जी, तो मैंने कहा कि हम लोग भी आ जाएं आपका, तो बोले नहीं कोहरा है, आप लोग रिस्क मत लीजिए, मैं पहुंच. वो 6-6:30 बजे पहुंच गए. वहीं से वो आंदोलन फिर पुनर्जीवित हो गया जो आज चल रहा है. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि वो हम इसलिए कर रहे हैं कि हम पिता के लायक पुत्र हैं या हमारे बाबा फलाने थे या ठिकाने. हमारा एक कॉन्फिडेंस, देखिए कांग्रेस की सन क्या, आज भले ही लीडर है कांग्रेस में, लेकिन कांग्रेस के गांधी परिवार की एक शाख है, राजनीतिक शाख. चाहे उसके 70 साल में नहीं, मैं एक मिसाल दे रहा हूँ. आई एम नॉट अप्रिशिएटिंग एनीवन.
नहीं, पर मैं उसके लिए उनसे ही पूछूं ना, कांग्रेस के जो लीडर, कांग्रेस लीडर बैठे हुए हैं, हाँ, उनसे मैं
कम बता पाएंगे, वो कम बता पाएंगे. मैं भी कांग्रेस में रहा हूँ, इसलिए मैं जानकारी दे रहा हूँ. तो वो एक उनकी बाजार में एक शाख होती है ना, शाख अगर खराब हो जाए आदमी तो फिर सर्वाइव राजनीति में नहीं कर सकता. तो आज आरएलडी की शाख है, किसानों की पार्टी है, गरीबों की पार्टी है, मजदूरों की पार्टी है, इसलिए हम लोग आगे लेके उसको चल रहे हैं. अब रिजल्ट क्या हो, ये तो जनता गुमराह हो जाती है, बहक जाती है कि ये फायदा मिल रहा है. अब आप बताइए, 1 सेकंड में लूंगा, ये 6,000 रुपए देते हैं, ठीक है, 1924 रुपए का डीएपी का कट्टा.
कुंवर नरेंद्र सिंह जी, उस विषय पे मैं दोबारा आऊंगा आपके पास. Mr. Mathur, you have heard what Kuwar Narendra Singh said about the nepotism. Now, my question to you is, Kerala, Mr. Rahul Gandhi changed his constituency from Raebareli, not changed, rather he has fought election at Wayanad also in addition to Raebareli. And
पहले मुझे कुंवर नरेंद्र सिंह
नहीं, you can get
नरेंद्र सिंह का जवाब देने दीजिए.
one moment. I know. No. You can reply. One moment. Mr. Mathur, please.
और इनके बड़े भाइयों की रूट्स कांग्रेस में ही है. और ये
That's-
पुराने कांग्रेसी हैं और इन्होंने दल बदल करके अपनी आस्था लोकदल में दिखा रहे हैं।
Mr.
इनको तो
Mr.
कांग्रेस की तारीफ करनी चाहिए।
वो भी
कांग्रेस ने
आपकी
इनको-
वजह
कांग्रेस
Mr.
ने
आपकी
इनको
वजह-
establish
आपकी
किया।
वजह से
इनकी
छोड़ के
पहचान
गए थे।
कांग्रेस से है।
I think I have to mute
इनके
both of
भाई
you.
को भी
I
कांग्रेस
have
की
to
वजह
mute.
से जाना जाता है और इनको भी कांग्रेस की वजह से जाना जाता है। They have established because of the Congress.
Okay,
They
okay,
should
okay.
not talk
Mr.
anything good about the
Mr. Mathur, see, I do not want to be termed as a tutu meme channel
Not that, not that.
or jo
Because he
hota hai.
was talking.
Now
Now
my
to give the reply.
no. I know that, but my question to you is, Mr. Rahul Gandhi added one more constituency, although he lost at Raebareli and he won Wayanad constituency. And he got the dividend when in the last parliament election, out of 2019 seats won by the Congress. Now what happened from 2019 to 2021, why Congress fared very badly in Kerala, in spite of Mr. Rahul Gandhi canvassing very heavily in Kerala. He even jumped in the sea for saving some taking out or saving some fishes, whatnot, and whatsoever he has done. He used to train the girls. He has tried his best, but in spite of all his efforts, why the Kerala results has shown something else? Mr. Pradeep Mathur, please.
Kerala has already been the state of leftist, and it has been always the state of intelligentsia and educated people. Our leader tried his level best, but it's simply the matter of chance that he has not succeeded in his attempt. I cannot make much more comments on it because results have yet to come, and final tally has to be declared little later.
But Mr. Mathur, whatsoever the result will come, the leads of out of 140 seats, leads are of 140, says LDF is leading 85 and
56
Congress
and
is
50.
leading on
49.
Sorry?
And 49.
As per my report is 50 and BJP is leading on 4 and others are
I am
1.
just looking this, that the NDTV is more reliable than any of the television.
Okay.
Rest of the televisions are the Modi
if we,
media.
One moment. So in spite of that, what you are saying is the LDF chances are more to retain the power because already the lead is of 86 and 49 according to you. Anyway,
It's simply a game. It's simply a game. Politics is a game, and it is a matter of chance. My leader worked hard like anything, but is being turned down by the people of Kerala because Kerala people are very intelligent and they are the most prudent state of the country. It may not be able to influence the people over there. Simply a matter of chance.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mathur, for defending the indefensible. Now I am coming to Professor Dr. Sudhir Saran. Professor Dr. Sudhir Saran, the condition today is we are talking one nation, one election. We failed. We saw that there are 23 districts in West Bengal, only 23 districts. Now, in 23 districts, the way election was conducted in 8 phases. Why it was not conducted in one phase? If your paramilitary forces, your election commission is so weak, then why we are going for this democratic election process? You know, we are spending lakhs and lakhs of crore rupees on every election, which includes the political parties, which they are spending. Why this is a national waste? If we cannot conduct an election in one state and other side, we are doing so many things like vaccination and whatnot. How we can do it if we failed even for conducting a fair election? So much violence is taking place. What we have seen the media for West Bengal.
The answer is so simple and in the open that we are missing it. It is like hiding a dead body in the open field. The question is simply what I, as a management person, see the organizing of a mission is the ruling party in the center realized that in South Kerala is a state of intelligentsia, and in East West Bengal is the state of intelligentsia, and they want to have all the intelligentsia in their pocket, eating from their hands. That is why the entire might of this national party was channelized, and they had the management approach of, if you have to climb Mount Everest, and if you are an average mountaineer, then if you divide the task in easy steps, you can achieve success. This is very simple. And that is why they left no stone unturned, that everybody falls in line with them, including Election Commission. They do the unbelievable, that is for 23 districts, you have 8 phases of election, knowing fully well that this will make the condition corona-wide very, very serious. But in their hot-headedness, they realized they will not face any consequences. And so they went ahead with 8-phase plan to achieve their goal of destabilizes and disenfranchises the people of West Bengal. As one of your speakers said, their calculation has fallen, as the results are showing here on the channel which I am seeing, on its face, precisely because the intelligentsia of West Bengal does not live in the universities and bungalows. The intelligentsia of West Bengal, and to some extent of Bihar and lesser extent today in Uttar Pradesh, lives on ground, on thelas and rickshaws. That is where their calculation failed miserably. Management only explains it. No other science can explain what happened and what is happening in the West Bengal. That is my thinking.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Dr. Sudhir Saran. Pradeep Mathurji, now I'm asking this question to you. See, the international media has criticized Indian elections as well as the Kumbh Mela, etc., but mainly the elections campaign and election rallies. And heavily they have criticized. In almost all the newspapers, whether it's the Washington Post, the Dawn, or the New York Times, etc., etc., the Guardian. Now, Madras High Court very strongly wordedly said that why not a attempt to murder cases will be filed against the election commission. Although election commission has gone to Supreme Court today, we have not heard what happened in the Supreme Court. I think it will be tomorrow on Monday, unless they will.
It's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate that the action of Election Commission and the BJP has tarnished the image of our country throughout the world. The act of Election Commission and the act of, I can straight away allege Prime Minister Modi and the Bharatiya Janata Party, it is absolutely ridiculous, because they have put whole of the country into fray and they have made whole of the country as graveyard. Elections were not much more important than the life of the people. That's why we are internationally being condemned, and all leading newspapers of the world have condemned Mr. Modi as a dictator and told them he's absolutely a man of without wisdom, because
Okay.
corona pandemic is absolutely spreading in whole of the country, and this at this point of time, no elections, no rally should take place. I can say, because I find these courts are also under the influence of that caucus sitting at Delhi, and this particular Madras High Court is yesterday issuing the notice to Election Commission. Why not the charge of contempt of murder are imposed on him? But this is all ridiculous. It would have been done at that point of time when the elections were taking place, when Modiji was taking rallies, such big rallies. At that point of time, High Court, Madras should come forward and play the game.
Okay.
The Honorable Justice is wanting to take hype into the eyes of the public and to increase the marks in the eyes of the public doing like this. But this
Okay.
all is a drama
Okay.
and it is all ridiculous.
ओके, थैंक यू वेरी मच मिस्टर प्रदीप माथुर। कुंवर नरेंद्र सिंह जी, अगर आपका हो गया सेटिंग तो आपने को अनम्यूट कर लीजिए प्लीज। मेरा प्रश्न अब आपसे दूसरा है, आपके उत्तर प्रदेश हाई कोर्ट ने हाथ जोड़ के विनती की है योगी जी से, आपके चीफ मिनिस्टर से, लॉकडाउन करने के लिए। क्या आपके हिसाब से एक संवैधानिक संस्था और वो भी एक हाई कोर्ट के जज को ये शोभा देता है कि वो हाथ जोड़ के एक चीफ मिनिस्टर से प्रार्थना करें कि आप कृपा करके लॉकडाउन यूपी में लगाने का कष्ट करें? क्या ये हमारी डेमोक्रेसी के लिए एक अच्छा साइन है या बहुत खतरनाक हम दिशा में जा रहे हैं, जिससे लगता है कि अब जो न्यायपालिका है वो कार्यपालिका के अंतर्गत काम करने के लिए बाध्य हो रही है, लेजिस्लेचर के अंतर्गत बात हो रही है? क्या आपका इस बारे में क्या विचार है?
वैसे जुडिशरी डिजर्व तो यही करती है, क्योंकि जिस तरह से इनके हाथों में खेल रहे हैं कठपुतली की तरह से, तो डिजर्व तो यही करते हैं। अभी भी सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कल एक वो किया और हाई कोर्ट यूपी के चीफ मिनिस्टर मना कर दिया कि नहीं हम काउंटिंग कराएंगे, समझा? तो ये परिस्थितियां इनके बियॉन्ड कंट्रोल।
एक मिनट, आप क्या कह रहे हैं, काउंटिंग नहीं हो रही है यूपी में आज?
नहीं हो रही है, वही तो कह रहा हूँ। उन्होंने कहा था कि न कराएं तो कोई आफत नहीं आ जाएगी, तो भी 1 महीने टाल दीजिए काउंटिंग को, 15 दिन टाल दीजिए, कोई आफत नहीं आएगी। लेकिन फिर भी गवर्नमेंट ने कहा नहीं हमें कराना है, क्योंकि हाई कोर्ट के ऑर्डर, मतलब हाई कोर्ट से बड़ा सुप्रीम कोर्ट उन्हें कह रहा है और वो नहीं मान रहे। तो ये तो एक डिक्टेटरशिप है, ये तो इनका तो तुर्कमानी आदेश चलता है, जो इन्होंने कह दिया वो होना चाहिए।
तो अब कोई रिजल्ट आ रहा है क्या आपके?
अभी तक तो अभी कोई नहीं आया, वो वहाँ कोई लाइव नहीं आ रहा है, ऐसा कोई पता नहीं लग रहा है। वो तो वहीं अलग अलग चल रही है, हर ब्लॉक में अलग चल रही है। काउंटिंग तो दोपहर बाद तक आएंगे, मैं सोचता हूँ कल तक आएंगे रिजल्ट, रात तक या कल तक।
जी।
तो मेरा मतलब ये है कि लॉकडाउन सॉल्यूशन है, लेकिन प्रिकॉशंस नहीं ली गई इनकी पहले से। अगर ये पहले से ही प्रिकॉशंस ले लेते, चुनाव रैलियों को नहीं करते, कुंभ में 400-425 करोड़ रुपया ने खर्च कर दिया। मैं उसी पे फिर आ रहा हूँ जो आप क्वेश्चन अवॉइड कर गए थोड़ा सा, कि इंटरनेशनल मीडिया ने एक वो है इंटरनेशनल पेपर है, एक सेकंड लूंगा आपका, एक तो द मोंडी ने ये कहा है कि 3.5 लाख आदमी इस वक्त सफर कर रहा है और 22,000 के करीब मर चुका है, और इनके पास वो रेमडेसिविर जो इंजेक्शन है वो अवेलेबल नहीं है। रेमडेसिविर इट इज नॉट अवेलेबल, नॉट ओनली मथुरा। और सीएमएस से मेरी बात हुई, सीएमएस ने मुझसे ये कहा कि मुझे तो मालूम ही नहीं, मैं तो सूरत ही नहीं देखी उसकी, सीएमओ डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर रहे हैं। तो आज जो बेसिक नेसेसिटी है, बेसिक इमरजेंसी जो है, ऑक्सीजन का अरेंजमेंट करना, इनके नेता लोग जो प्रदीप माथुर से लड़े थे और जीत गए, यहाँ के मीडिया से बात करते हैं और अधिकारियों को 2-2, 3-3 घंटे मीटिंगों में बैठा लेते हैं, नोडल ऑफिसर्स को स्टक कर देते हैं अपने साथ, और सफर करता है कौन? पेशेंट।
चलिए उसके लिए अपन दोबारा
दोबारा तो करेंगे, लेकिन इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे भारत की इमेज बहुत खराब हो गई। आप एक बात देखिए, गूगल पे सर्च करिए और पूछिए कि विश्व में सबसे करप्ट प्राइम मिनिस्टर कौन है?
कुंवर नरेंद्र सिंह, we will discuss this point after some time.
आप सारे इंपॉर्टेंट डिस्कस बाद में करेंगे, 2-4 घंटे चलेगा ये।
Yeah. Now my question to you is, Professor Sudhir Saran, before the election, Kerala was showing the positive cases about 2,000 or so. Yesterday, Kerala has shown the figures of 35,636 positive cases. Kerala is a very small state compared to West Bengal. West Bengal yesterday shown 17,512. Although the reports are saying that every second person is positive there. Are we fuzzing with the data purposely so that we can conduct this counting and everything will be done? And if we will win, fine. If we will not win, from tomorrow onwards, we will put the lockdown and whatnot. And this fudging of data, because reports are media reports everywhere, even the foreign country, the foreign media has highlighted that India is hiding the data. Even they have mentioned, one of the media reports says that Indian Prime Minister is acting like a Russian president. What you say about this, Professor Saran?
लोग कहते हैं बिना आग के धुआं नहीं होता. So if people are saying that we are fuzzing the data, there is ample evidence for that one.
Something black at the
You are
bottom.
very right. There is no independent health body today. There is no independent source of data today. It is not only foreign countries which are saying every day that our correspondents are seeing a different reality about dead bodies being cremated than what the official data is. And when you create such a situation, then it is free for all. And when it is free for all, government tries to take advantage of this one, because check and balance mechanisms have collapsed in this one. So if they want to impose a lockdown in Kerala and destroy their economy and punish the politicians, well, this all has become a funny game. But at the bottom line, what I want you to notice is this: अगर हमारे घर में कोई क्रिटिकली बीमार हो गया है, हमारी ऊपर की सांस ऊपर है, नीचे की सांस नीचे है, या फिर वो मर गया मेरा क्लोज रिलेटिव या फ्रेंड, तो हम सारी बातें भूल जाते हैं, मीठी वाली जो लोग कहते हैं. एंड सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट से बड़ा कोई ताकत नहीं है, देश में भी विदेश में भी. अगर फॉरेन मीडिया इतना हंगामा कर रही है तो इसलिए कर रही है कि नाउ दे आर फीलिंग कि अगर इंडिया में इस रफ्तार से कोरोना फैलता रहा तो अछूता कोई 200 देश में नहीं बचने वाला है. अमेरिका की भी बैंड बजेगी, यूके की भी बैंड बजेगी, सिंगापुर की बैंड बजेगी, चाहे वो फ्लाइट रेस्ट्रिक्शन लगाते रहें, होगा कुछ नहीं. और ये पैंडेमिक 3 साल से आगे चल के सबकी कमर तोड़ देगा, और पावरफुल जो आज बैठे हैं उनकी पावर तो उड़ जाएगी कपूर की तरह. इतना मेरा सबमिशन है.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay.
Very good.
Thank you, Professor Saran. Mr. Pradeep Mathur, my question to you is Congress has lost the past glory? Now we are seeing election after election, election after election. Congress is either a very small player, like in Tamil Nadu, a very few seats were given to them. All other states, Congress is not there, whether it was in West Bengal or in Kerala or Assam. My question to you is, if it is like this, and if Congress is the only national party which always claim that this rule is a misrule, BJP's rule is bad, whatnot, then why not they join the hands with all the parties, like Mamata Banerjee called several times? Why the Congress has not joined? One side you say, no, we have a partnership or friendship with left in West Bengal, and you are fighting tooth and nail against the left in Kerala. Why not you all join and then become something? Otherwise, Congress will become a laughing stock. Ki Kerala, you are fighting, you are abusing, you are saying left is no nothing, and now in West Bengal, you have joined hands. My question to you is, this West Bengal, if they would have joined the TMC, left and Congress would have joined all the three, they would have clean swept.
I agree with you on this issue, because I have also raised this point that in Kerala you are supporting left, in Kerala you are fighting with the left, and in West Bengal you are shaking hand with the left. It is absolutely north and south pole affair. But the question which has come over there, that when this fellow who is in charge of West Bengal, Jitendra Prasad, I was talking to him, why this kind of a thing you are doing? You are supposed to shake hand with Mamata Banerjee. He said that the Mamata Banerjee is going a very meager seats, only 20 out of that much, and we are fighting now with this left on 19 seats. But I agree with you, with your version, that the kind of result we are observing, that we are only simply on 4 seats are winning and we have lost badly. Janta, the public has turned down our working in this way. I can agree that there may be follies and faults at the part of our high command, and we are just getting the negative results of all that.
ओके, थैंक यू मिस्टर प्रदीप माथुर। मेरा आपसे प्रश्न है कुंवर नरेंद्र सिंह जी, आपका राष्ट्रीय लोकदल, आपके यहाँ समाजवादी पार्टी, बहुजन समाजवादी पार्टी, कांग्रेस, आपस में आप लोग कभी पीस मिल में गठबंधन करते हैं, कभी जब तक आप, अगर आप एक और आप कहते हैं योगी सरकार या बीजेपी की सरकार भ्रष्ट है या वो लोग काम नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, तो आप लोग आपस में मिलके एक गठबंधन क्यों नहीं बनाते हैं? और अगर आप नहीं बनाते हैं गठबंधन, तो फिर आप क्यों एक दूसरे को, जब आप एक दूसरे की बुराई भी करते हैं लेकिन कुछ जगह जाके समझौता भी कर लेते हैं, कुछ जगह हम देखते हैं जैसे किसान आंदोलन है, वहां कांग्रेस और आप पार्टी और आरएलडी और सब पार्टी, समाजवादी पार्टी सब एक हो जाते हैं, लेकिन जब इलेक्शन का टाइम आता है तो आप लोग अलग हो जाते हैं। तो जो अंग्रेजों ने अपना एक डिवाइड एंड रूल का काम किया था, अगर आज वो बीजेपी कर रही है तो इसमें गलत क्या कर रही है?
नहीं, यू आर राइटली सेड, और अब टाइम आ गया है, वी शुड कम टुगेदर। जैसे 89 में 77 में अगेंस्ट कांग्रेस हुआ था सब मोर्चा एक, अब एक जयप्रकाश नारायण की जरूरत है कि इसको सबको एक करके हम लोग साथ होके लड़े, तभी इन आतंकवादियों से, इन सांप्रदायिक ताकतों से लड़ा जा सकता है। और उसके लिए हम सब लोगों को थोड़ी अपनी ईगो कम करनी पड़ेगी। अब चेयरपर्सन सोनिया जी हैं, मैं प्रदीप माथुर जी से अनुरोध करूंगा कि एक दिन मीटिंग कराएं, हम सब लोग कहें कि अंडर द लीडरशिप ऑफ ममता बनर्जी वी शुड कम ऑल टुगेदर। ममता भी पुरानी कांग्रेसी है, उनकी भी विचारधारा कांग्रेसी है, राजीव जी के साथ वो यूथ प्रेसिडेंट रही है वहां की, और उन्होंने बहुत काम किए कांग्रेस के लिए, और आज भी एक तृणमूल कांग्रेस ही है। तो उनके नेतृत्व में सारे, अब लालू बाहर आई गए, तो सारे स्टेट्स के लीडर, सीनियर लीडर, मैं अजीत सिंह जी से भी बात करूंगा इस बारे में, हम सब लोग साथ आ जाएं, अपनी ईगो शांत कर लें, टिकटों के झगड़े को छोड़े, मुझे मिले नहीं मिले, प्रदीप को मिले नहीं मिले, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, लेकिन इन ताकतों को खत्म करना चाहिए। सांप्रदायिक ताकतें हमारे देश को तोड़ रही। आज मुसलमान दाग लगा रहे हैं हिंदुओं की लाशों को, आज उनको उठा के ले जा रहे हैं, आज मुसलमान कहाँ दूषित हो गए, ये इनकी समझ में नहीं आ रहा है। ये लोग लड़ाई करा के हम लोगों को, देश को बांटने का काम कर रहे हैं। ये अंबेडकर का गांव देश है, अंबेडकर संविधान का है, तो इसलिए मेरा ये रिक्वेस्ट है, सारे आपका ये चैनल जो भी देख रहे हो, कि सब शुड कम टुगेदर, यूनाइट हो जाएं, और अपनी टिकटॉक की लीडर हो। मैं तो कहता हूँ ममता को लीडर मान लेना चाहिए, कोई दिक्कत नहीं।
Okay, sir, thank you. Now last words from all of you. Time is short, only one minute, or rather 30 seconds, starting from Professor Sudhir Saran. How you see 2024? Do you think this is a referendum for the Modi Sarkar?
बिल्कुल है, और 2024 में अंतर हमको देखने को जरूर मिलेगा, क्योंकि अगर मिस्टर ट्रंप अपना इलेक्शन नहीं संभाल पाए तो फिर बाकी दुनिया में कौन है जो संभाल ले जाएगा, क्योंकि यहाँ पर दुश्मन जो है जनता है, दुश्मनी जनता से है राजनीति की, इसमें हमेशा जनता जीतती है और जीतेगी 2024 में। ये मेरा विश्वास है।
Thank you.
Because you have, yesterday there was a result from that urban local bodies of Karnataka, out of 10, 7 was won by Congress, 1 only won by the BJP, and the 2 has gone to the JDS. So the trend according to you. कुंवर नरेंद्र सिंह, आपका इस बारे में बहुत संक्षिप्त में आपका क्या सोचना है? क्या ये एक रेफरेंडम है और 2024 का कुछ इसमें हम अक्ष देख रहे हैं, जो ये इलेक्शन 5 जगह हुए?
बिल्कुल उल्टी गिनती शुरू हो गई बंगाल के चुनाव से, बीजेपी की उल्टी गिनती शुरू हो गई। या छोटे छोटे राज्यों में भले ही बना ली उन्होंने लोकल इश्यूज को लेके, लेकिन हो गई, और अब हम सब लोगों को एक हो जाना चाहिए, और 2024 में खेला होवे।
ओके, खेला होवे। प्रदीप माथुर जी, आपका इस बारे में क्या विचार है?
I'll definitely agree with Mr. Number 1 who has given his comment.
Professor
In your
Professor Saran.
I agree with
Professor
him.
Sarang.
He is he's very nicely just passed the comment. Definitely, this referendum is a reflection of the downfall of the BJP in the country, and I find Modi has badly failed, and he's like a person गंजे को नाखून दे दिए गए और उससे सारा का सारा सिर खुदा डाला, and he has absolutely, we have lost everything in the country, and he has made whole of the country like graveyard, and he should be kicked out. He should be kicked out.
Okay, thank you very much, Pradeep Mathurji. So you have seen today, viewers, that right now out of the 5 states, the West Bengal is clearly taken over again, once again, the 3rd time by Mamata Banerjee. The Kerala, surprisingly, because that breaking the tradition, and again has gone to the left. Tamil Nadu has gone to DMK. Assam, the situation as of now is that the BJP is leading comfortably there, and Puducherry, the position is not clear because the lead is only 17 are out of 30, so we cannot comment. But one thing is very clear, where Congress is saying that it's the downfall of Modi, but they are forgetting that they are also doing nothing, because as per the latest figure is in West Bengal, there is not a single seat where the left and Congress is leading as of now. And in Kerala, they have lost the ground. Only what the consolation they can claim is at Tamil Nadu. So thank you very much. And today's program has been live telecasted by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Newsgaon se Samvad Sarokar News, as well as it was shown live on Facebook and YouTube. And our endeavor is to bring to you every day new topic for Media Conference with Lal Goyal. So tomorrow our topic is Press Freedom Day. As you all know, that tomorrow International Press Freedom Day we are celebrating. Are we also having this press freedom in India or not? To discuss with this, we have a panelist, Dr. Mukesh Sharma. He is the former Director General of Film Divisions of India and also the former Additional Director General of Doordarshan, working for the Ministry of Information Broadcasting, Government of India. Dr. P.K. Abraham, CEO, True Coast Paints Kochi. Advocate Ramesh Kumar Sharma, Chairman Gyan Deep Shiksha Bharati Senior Secondary School, Mathura. So please tune in tomorrow, Media Conference with Lal Goyal at 10:30 a.m. Thank you very much, Professor Dr. Sudhir Saran. Thank you very much, Kumar Naren Singh. And thank you very much, Mr. Pradeep Mathur, for joining and giving your frank views. And we all have to wait because these are only leads. We will see when the final result will come, whether the views which they have expressed, whether they tally with the final result or not. Thank you very much. And thank you all the viewers for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.